Staff Sergeant Maria Santos stood in the corner of the officer's dining hall, holding a tray of coffee cups. Her jaw clenched so tight it ached. Around her, generals and colonels discussed strategy and operations while she refilled their drinks like she was invisible. This wasn't what she'd signed up for when she joined the Army 12 years ago. Her company commander, Captain Dixon, had made it clear this morning. Santos, we need servers for the strategic planning conference. You're on lunch duty. It didn't matter that she was an intelligence analyst with 2 combat deployments. It didn't matter that she had more field experience than half the junior officers in the room. She was a woman. She was enlisted, and Dixon had never forgiven her for making him look bad during the last training exercise, when her analysis had been right and his had been wrong. Maria moved between tables, pouring coffee, clearing plates, keeping her eyes down. She'd learned long ago that some battles weren't worth fighting. She'd filed this away with all the other small humiliations, the casual disrespect, the assumptions that she was support staff rather than a combat veteran. At the head table, 4 generals were deep in conversation about counterinsurgency operations in the Middle East. Maria approached to refill their coffee, making herself small and unobtrusive. The problem is intelligence gathering at the village level. One general was saying, we can't get reliable human intelligence when our soldiers don't understand the culture. Maria's hand trembled slightly as she poured. She knew something about that. She'd spent 18 months embedded with local forces, building relationships, gathering intelligence that had saved countless lives. But that was classified, and besides, no one was asking her opinion. She was turning to leave when one of the generals, a silver-haired man with sharp eyes, glanced up at her. His gaze dropped briefly to her chest, and Maria felt the familiar flush of anger rising. But then, his eyes focused on something specific. He was staring at her uniform. Sergeant, he said sharply, causing the entire table to fall silent. Is that a silver star? Maria's hand instinctively went to the small ribbon on her chest, third from the top. She'd almost forgotten she was wearing her dress uniform. Yes, sir. The general stood abruptly, his chair scraping loudly. For what action? The room had gone completely quiet now. Maria felt dozens of eyes on her, including Captain Dixon's furious glare from across the room. Wardak Province, Afghanistan. So, 2019, the general's eyes widened. Wardak, the village. Extraction. He turned to the other generals. Gentlemen, this is the soldier I was telling you about. The analyst who single-handedly held off an enemy assault while coordinating the evacuation of 37 civilians and a special forces team. Maria's throat tightened. She hadn't expected anyone here to know that story. You carried a wounded captain 3 clicks through enemy territory. The general continued, his voice rising with intensity. You called in danger close airstrikes while under direct fire. You saved 17 American lives and countless Afghan civilians. He turned to face a fully coming to attention, and we have you serving coffee. Captain Dixon had gone pale, standing frozen near the entrance. The general's voice cut through the room like a blade. Someone explained to me why a Silver Star recipient, one of the finest intelligence analysts in the Army, is being used as waitstaff at a strategic planning conference where her expertise would be invaluable. No one spoke. The silence was deafening. Sergeant Santos, the general said, gesturing to an empty chair at the head table, please sit down. We need your insights on village-level intelligence operations. He glared at the room, and someone else can pour the damn coffee. As Maria moved to the table, her legs shaking, she caught Captain Dixon's expression. It was a mixture of embarrassment and rage, but she didn't care anymore. For the first time in months, she felt like a soldier again. The general extended his hand as she. Saturday, General Marcus Webb, I read your after-action report. Sergeant, it's an honor to finally meet you. He paused, then added loudly enough for the entire room to hear, and I apologize on behalf of the United States Army that you've been treated with anything less than the respect you've earned and deserve. Maria shook his hand, finding her voice. Thank you, sir. As the meeting resumed, with her now at the center of it, contributing her hard-won knowledge to the discussion, Maria realized something important. The medals on her chest weren't just ribbons and metal. They were proof. Proof that she'd earned her place. Proof that she belonged. Proof that no small-minded officer could ever take away what she had accomplished. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales of courage and recognition. Hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it.